Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CollegiateR6 Premier Playoffs. We're heading into the quarterfinals tonight, and we've got two of the top collegiate teams from across the nation, Akron R6 versus Purdue Gold. This is going to be a heater of a match. Really excited to announce that I will be joined tonight, myself, Sticula, alongside my wonderful co-caster McCready. Always a fun time to be here with you, and I'm really excited to dig into this match and figure out where we will be going.
Oh yeah, myself included in that statement. It is always a pleasure to be here and see what the best the collegiate scene has to offer. And Purdue Gold going up against Akron, like you said, that's the quarterfinal. These are two of the top teams going up against each other as we head in these premier playoffs. They're only going to guarantee a good game. And I mean, looking at the maps, which we'll get into a little bit later, I'm quite excited to see how this is going to go down because we're not seeing our typical kind of three-map setup. So I think Purdue Gold and Akron, they're looking at it, they're trying to take it from a different point of view. They're saying, okay, we're going to try something different. It's playoff time. We need to do this. We need to catch them off guard. And that's something I'm very excited to see.
Definitely so. Coming into the playoffs, I do believe Akron are actually incredibly high. Akron are so high in the seeding. I want to say they're like number 2, and that's really just reflective of their performance through the season. If you ask any collegiate player, who are the top teams in the nation, Akron will be one of them, at least in the top 3. Consistency is just the name of the game for Akron. Same thing with Purdue. They're another one of the top seeds for the Premier playoffs. I believe number 3. They had an insanely good season. Their performance has been outstanding, and I'm really glad that we got to get this match on stream because this is pretty much the best you could ask for. And it's in some respects kind of disappointing that this isn't the grand final because I know these two teams could put on just a banger of a best of 5.
Yeah, maybe next time, unfortunately. But we are going to be having a best of 3. And like I said earlier, the maps, they're kind of different. They're not exactly what you'd expect to see, but I'm not by any means disappointed because if we're going to head into these maps in a couple of seconds, we got Villa coming up. Then we've got Coastline in Oregon. That's a banger of a setup, in my opinion. Typically, you got your CAF, you got your Villa, you got your Clubhouse, but the only one map is present. You've got Coastline that's got a lot of frag heavy potential, a lot of running around. The defenders go push as many rounds to the board, try and bring it on the attack and close it out. Then you've got Oregon, one of these newer maps that's come into kind of that staple setup realistically, but it's still one of those where you can try out those different things. And like I said, that's going to be the name of the game for the teams here. They're both top level, so they might want to try and bring something new to the fray.
You're definitely right, and I very much so appreciate the variety of the maps we got to play today. Unfortunately, I was hoping to see like Oregon Coastline Theme Park. That'd be my ideal for a best of 3, just because you don't get to see all of those maps all the time. It's kind of a treat. You mentioned the core 3. Usually we would see kind of a clubhouse, cafe, villa with a little bit of Oregon sprinkled in there. That is just stock standard. A lot of teams are very comfortable on those maps. And so heading into playoffs, specifically the quarterfinals, I really connect with the point that you made. We're seeing unusual maps. This is the teams trying to flex their pool, trying to show that they're comfortable on maps that aren't all too common. Our number 1 map, the very first one that'll be kicking us off, will be Villa. And I believe Akron will be starting off on the defense, which is unusual for them to pick defense. I'm not too sure, about the collegiate meta over in T3, T4. It's been pretty trendy to be good on the attack for Villa recently. It's kind of had a big shift away from that meta of old that we've come to expect. And maybe collegiate's lagging behind, but these are some of the top teams, and they're going to have some of the best strats. And so I'm really intrigued to see what they will play it like. The second map being Coastline. You talked about it. It's just so incredibly frag heavy. Both of these teams, they've got their gunners. You've got names like IMAT, like JetCon. I mean, you don't get much better. I think IMAT is like number 200 champ, so he's gunning in ranked, and he can definitely gun in comp too. And he's not a player to forget about. You give him these dastardly odds. It's 1v3, and IMAT will just show up for you every time. His impact is felt across the board, but we are ready to go. We'll be heading into our very first map for this best of 3 series. So McCready, let's dig in and let's see what we will have removed for the op bans.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb, as I always do, Stickler, and I always make the same joke, but I'm gonna surprise you with, I think there might be a Thatcher ban on the board, but the second attack ban is what I'd really, really like to see from Purdue. It kind of gives a hint to how they're trying to play, because they obviously don't take away Thatcher. A Maverick hints to me they've got something else prepared for that triple wall, the trophy statue setup, maybe going down to dining. If you see a Capital, they're probably not going to be relying on the utility that much and looking to just win these gunfights or get these lines of sight that heavily favor them on their attack. Whereas Akron, they've got to go for that staple ban. They need to take away that Thatcher because it's too dangerous not to.
The Monty ban, which is okay. I mean, I could vibe with it. I don't specifically remember Akron as being a team that really hinges on the performance of their Monty. It seems like Hennessy was not all too happy, or maybe Surma was. So maybe Akron has developed recently. Maybe they do have a couple of Monty players. We'll see the Maestro taken off as well. So the Alda coupling up with that intel of the evil eyes won't be a concern. The final defender ban, you're likely to see something in the range of a Mira, Cade, maybe even a Malusi.
Or even a Wamai, but you are going to see that Mirror coming off the board. I want to talk about the Maestro and just how strong he's become. I love the fact that we're seeing dynamic bans coming out now that Echo is immediately off the board. Maestro hasn't filled that permaban slot, which I find very interesting because yes, he'll come in, and then the defenders they really need to be prepared for. Okay, we need a post plan scenario. You can't just say we'll stop the post plan. I'm looking. I'm enjoying seeing it come through because we've seen my mirror bands come out before, and attackers just have to adjust to how it's played, and defenders likewise. But heading to that AVG site, we are going to see that typical lineup. You've got your Mozzie, you have your Jaeger Malusi, someone who's just come into the competitive scene by storm, alongside her counterpart on the other side, Ace, being brought by Providence.
Some fun stuff. Villa is a map where it almost always has something taken away in the hard breach, and you mentioned the joke you make about Thatcher, and that's a good op to hedge your bets on. He just constantly gets taken off. If you're looking at the hard breaches, whereas on other maps, the traditionalist kind of clubhouse cafe, you'd expect to see something like a Maverick because of his versatility and ability to deny pretty much any form of wall denial. Villa is a map which trends to see more ranged hard breachers removed. Because of the fact that a lot of this map has soft floors, you can become incredibly vulnerable to nitros below, especially when you're thinking about opening up the gun vaults wall at 90. A lot of times you can get a freebie there by getting some intel, going below inside the bathroom, and tossing up a nitro cell. And so you'd often see, I think kind of the rank order previously was just the Habana. Now with the introduction of Ace, as well as the big boost in his presence we've seen recently, Ace has become kind of the new Habana in terms of that ban, right? Akron will begin on the very first round with a bit of an extended roam. They're going to try to hold inside of Astro. JetCon picking up the first kill, living up to his title as a fragger.
Yeah, being able to find that Ash, taking away the flashbangs and those reaching charges off the board, it's going to make it difficult for Purdue here to take up the mantle, get those ADSs cleared off the board. You don't have a Wamai there, but you do have the ability to just deny that utility. Purdue, they can clear it out. They need to find another kill if they can onto JetCon, but this man, he's pre-firing everything. He's pulling back to 90. He's playing it safe. He's just going to hold and say, all right, you come to me now. But I do want to talk a bit now about how Ace, he might change. He might go down in that little bit of a drop, if I'm not going to lie. I can see that happening with the new Habana changes, but they are going to be coming quite possibly in a couple of weeks. So we'll talk about them then, I suppose.
Losing Mila early, a real kicker here. You're one of your fraggers. You mentioned the loss of that utility that the Ash brings and the stall out factor. We're sitting in 1:35. The attackers have very little pressure being established over by 90 corner. Poseidon, the first player to even think about approaching red landing. We have a rotate from Providence and Hangman. They're going to go for a bit of a vertical clear down inside of living room and library. So maybe they're going to rotate here, attempt to go for a study push, but IMAT is ready to try and deny that. Also, you've got the Legion holding vertically. Poseidon will manage a refrag now as he takes control of 90 corner, but he is on not the best health. You'll need to see some support from Providence to hard breach open that wall, and Hennessy has no idea at all. He's just not going to give that up. He will stay here until the end of days, and he's just going to give up his life if it means that wall never gets opened up. And Akron are not going to want to be in that position because we have 40 seconds to go. They need to find an execute, and Arv is perfectly exploiting this. He's got plenty of gas canisters left. He's locking off the rotate from Zombie, and Purdue just have to keep on waiting.
Yeah, and without that vault will open, they can't set up that crossfire they need. It has been open in the floor, but Hennessy, he's still holding that position. He's still holding it tight. You've got Poseidon, he's prone. One swing could be the end and possibly the end of the round for Purdue, but that might be it as Arvin Sima pick up a kill. I'm at finding one of his own off the goose, but Hennessy will go down, but Poseidon's now in a 1v3 with 8 seconds. No diffuser. The smoke canisters won't be going out because there are none left. But with 2 seconds left on the clock, he's not even going to try. Arv goes for the swing. And that is that round. We are going to come back to myself and Sticular while we deal with a little audio issue. But let's talk about that round. It was very thick and fast towards the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Sledge maybe be a bit more assertive. We saw he was able to take out JetCon when he pushed into 90. but the time that they wasted really hampered their setup. They were never able to comfortably orient themselves around 90. Yes, the gun vault wall got open eventually, but the control and the opportunities that it gave to Purdue never really materialized into anything beyond very minimal site control. And execute was never really possible. They just couldn't get it done. There was no safe plant spot. The gas canisters really stalled them out, continued to push back and forth. And Purdue, on a map like Villa, you need to fight back early in the trade game. If you're going to let Akron consistently get that opening frag and then bail off, play the time game, they are going to walk right over you.
Yeah, and we are just going to give you... We are having to take a break, unfortunately, as the second round is being played out, but we can keep you updated as stuff goes on. But I do want to talk about that frag game you talk about. It is so huge. You've got Jetcon getting that kill in Trophy. Nobody really trying to lock down these lines of sight that he can have. Eventually, yes, you did have Poseidon and Providence both on 90 trying to get those kills, but if you can get a play there earlier, that could be huge. If you could get a player there, cut off Jetcon as he's pulling back, that probably could have changed the game. They didn't have that 90 control. They had to expend another player there. But unfortunately, that just wasn't how it went down for Purdue Gold, and they are going into the second round, a round down.
Yeah. So Master Bedroom is somewhat neglected here from Akron in their hold. They're focusing more over towards Master. This is pretty common from the collegiate scene. I haven't seen the most holds or the most... committance to holding inside of Master Bedroom. You'll usually see what we see now, which is kind of a loose roam over by AVG and 90. Akron are not trying to, make this the hill they die on. They're going to give it up early. We'll actually see IMAT rotate to go down below, shoots a drone and falls back further as he forfeits control of Piano, and Nitro Cell tossed up by Zombie. Might get lucky on anyone that tries to push in from Aviator, but so far Purdue Gold have yet to enter that area. Spotting out the rotate, furthering their clear. Providence inches further, and here you go. You've got the Valkyrie cam to combo with IMAT's Nitro Cell. Anyone that tries to come in through Red Landing will be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, 2 Nitro Cells left on the board out of a possible 3. That implies to me, because we haven't really seen it go off, that implies to me that there is a pre-place there waiting, like you said, with Surma. Providence will drop out and start to head towards that box area, but at the moment, Purdue, they're taking map control, but there's no real risk at the moment. The C4 will go off, I think, unless that's an impact nade that called it out. You can see Purdue getting this map control, but they're not really acting much. They're starting to stall down a little bit. A minute is coming on the clock, and not a single frag either way. Yeah, they're watching their flanks. I like that. They are getting these positions covered up, but they are now starting to just stall. And the gunfights will start to come out a little bit. Goosemoney taking some damage off. Holding a very nice pixel, but Mila getting swung on by Jetcon will be the first to fall. Some fire will return from over by Goosemoney, but that's not enough. Hangman getting down and taken out by himself. There's Jetcon with nobody there for the refrag. Jetcon's just gone and said, I'm going to get kills. Hennessy wanting one of his own. Not able to land the shots, unfortunately. Now, Purdue Gold, they don't seem to know what to do.
They're really struggling to apply any meaningful pressure onto the objective. They can't fight back in the frags. They can't take out these crucial bunkered positions, and they're well supported by the rest of Purdue, or rather Akron. Hennessy and IMAT managed to get kills, the Nomad coming up big for her team. But the question is, can she get the ace? And the answer is no, as Jetcon shuts her down to get his third on the round. And Akron proving to be really stone cold in their defenses. They're not giving up any control. And the simple fact that Akron win rounds when the majority of their hold and the time in the execute comes down to them just kind of waiting and just kind of lounging inside their objective. I like the fact that Purdue watch the flanks, as you mentioned. They go for a roam clear, but it just seems like they don't know what to do once they reach the gates of the objective.
Yeah, it's something you see. You can see a couple of teams at the lower level start to really struggle when you get to that point, like I said. But then being able to just kind of say, all right, we've got this control now. How do we start moving? Let's start getting our players to contest these players and hopefully shut down Jetcon, because he's been a real thorn in the side. that's just not been what's happening for Purdue. They've just slowed down. They need to just get the aggression on. Mila needs to be able to win these opening gunfights. At the very least, get Hangman in. If Goose Smitty is coming in and finding the only frags on your team alongside Poseidon, that's not really a good position to be in. But this is the big moment to get around on the board for Purdue in my eyes. Akron, they're going for that dining living room. This could be it. They've got a top floor hold. Purdue need to take it. And then vertical play all the way. You've got Poseidon, you've got Mila and Hangman. You can do as much vertical play realistically as you want. You've got the lineup, you just need to be able to execute.
One thing I think definitely Purdue Gold could use some more of is the opening engagement we've seen twice now. It is just a really early frag from JetCon, and he's actually managed to shut down Mila in both of the rounds, so just losing out on your fragger early, I'm not sure, maybe Mila just isn't, fully warmed up to play versus Akron, who seemed to be firing on all cylinders. It seems like just kind of a lack of frags. Like, it's all good to do your basics and the checklist, you're approaching the objective, you've got everything nailed down, but Villa is a map where you're kind of forced to take gunfights. There's a lot of really big choke holds and choke points where you have to go through a single doorway, such as what we saw in the previous round, and I think that was the main consideration for what stalled out their push. The fact that they could not enter for the life of them through the sofa doorway heading into Trophy, or rather Statue. And I mean, that same issue also showed itself over inside of Trophy as well. Providence goes down early. You've got a ton of pressure being established by Purdue, who seem to be executing a full site rush, trying to take the man advantage, and now forcing the rest of the defenders to rotate back and protect this diffuser. IMAT manages to shut down Poseidon, rotating in a quick refrag from Goose Smitty as he shuts down the Malusi, and now a 2v2 as the Nomad will need to recover this diffuser. IMAT holding prone, manages the first one as he shuts down Goose, trying to deploy an air jab. And Mila gotta play safe in watching these flanks. He doesn't have the most health. And I think JetCon realizes that he doesn't need to go aggressive here. Wait for the sound cue, burn more of the clock. IMAT holding safe as he plays the diffuser inside of Memo.
Mila slowly crawling around, trying to keep his position well, not give his position away, sorry, knowing that diffuser with the Banshee on him, he has to go for it. He knows the players are nearby, and he knows that they're just waiting for him to make a mistake. And Mila, as he heads towards the laundry, JetCon, he's going to run outside and rotate back to site. Mila, seeing that this is his chance, is going to start moving towards that memorial. But IMAT, got to find him from that trophy area through the rotational. I quite like that. A very nice shot, and a very nice way to close up the round. And I know you were talking about the last round, Stick, but that happened a lot quicker. And I think it just goes back to what you were saying, the choke points. You just saw Purdue run straight through Memorial. They just said, right, we're going to go in. They lost 2 players and picked up 3 frags, but it came down to the 2v2, and then they kind of just stalled. You had Goose Smitty. She was wanting to go in, get those air jabs out, and get something for her team, but unfortunately, IMAT was just waiting.
I like the effort from Purdue. I mean, they played that much faster than their previous 2 rounds, which were considerably slow, kind of snail's-paced almost attacks. And Purdue look at that round and they say, what's going wrong? We're going too slow, so let's just kick it up to 10, go full speed ahead, and rush the objective. It almost worked. I'll give them that. It was sitting at equal footing, something that they've had struggle with in their executes. A lot of times they've been attacking and just already at a disadvantage because they failed to defeat the roamer game from Akron. And so to say that you're on the objective at 3v3 is, I mean, that's something, but you couldn't get the diffuser down and play the attacker's game in protecting it. And I think that's when things went wrong. The fact that the diffuser fell inside of Memo, and Akron exploited the chaos by playing the vertical angles, such as the one we saw upstairs in Trophy, looking down through the gap above the reinforcement. Purdue can try as best they want to go for a rush, but Akron seemed to be prepared for every single eventuality.
I feel like that was kind of Purdue saying, okay, they've got a very heavy top floor take. We're going to try something against them. God, it worked. You got a couple of kills on the board, and Mila picking up his first 2 kills, but wasn't enough at the end of the day. They are still 3 rounds down, and JetCon, yet again, on the AVG side, is going to try and cause quite a few issues for the attacking side here. Dropping very early, though, realizing that he can maybe do a bit more damage if he lets them get into these comfortable positions, start contesting 90, but he's going to pull back. And I mean, I'm going for an aggressive play on Clay. I mean, I could see why you're saying, all right, if we're going to risk something, we're pulling Navaroma back. And having JetCon alive in the late game is going to be absolutely huge if they want to win these rounds.
Yeah, JetCon is just kind of, he looks at the round and he sees, you know, what have I done? I've got my early frags, so not going to try to put myself in a unfavorable position. Rotating now to hold 90. So I'm get a few picks here before. Overall, though, Purdue Gold seem to be more committed to this take now. They've got 3 effectively stacked up outside Red Landing, with Providence rotating to get the rappel angle as well. JetCon seemingly aware of this, he falls off and concedes control of 90. Hangman soon to realize this in combination with Providence. Clearing out this Electro Claw, though, will be incredibly difficult, especially with the Thatcher ban on the board and the creative placement we saw from the Electro Claw around the corner. It's just, I don't see how they're going to clear this with a lack of an IQ and no way to go vertically below. This will likely remain in position for the duration of the round. Purdue rotate now over towards Zombie Door, I think somewhat recognizing that the gun vault is not an opportunity for them. They'll have to diversify their push, split between top main, as well as coming in from Study and Aviator.
Now this is... Oh, Mila, you are so close. You could go below and get that Ash Charge underneath that Study wall. If you could get that, you can open the wall maybe, but you have to deal with Matt. He is playing that aggressive position. Providence will be rotating in. A lot of map control in favor of Purdue right now, but not the positions they need. Hangman starting to go down as he pushes onto site. Matt will be finishing him off. Mila puts the pressure on main stairs, but just prepares for the C4. Matt will find that kill as Poseidon gets one of those.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Cannot be going down yet, and it's 15 seconds. Smoke Anderson's just waiting to come in. Matt's looking to find another kill on Providence, but the flick comes out, the spin comes out. Oh, and JetCon picking up 2 kills. Sima finding that final, and I can barely keep up, but I feel like Akron, they just said, okay. They take control very early on. They play the 90 window, push 90. So JetCon, pull back. Just play your life. Play safe, actually. Pull back into site, wait. And then just they have to funnel through. And that's the choke points yet again that you were talking about. AVG door. 3 players trying to push in. 3 players die, excluding IMAT on the defense side. But the knock pick, I think that's going to be a 6 pick on the way that it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't see a Nook just kind of being played for just the sake of it. If you're going to try to have a Nook in your composition, it's going to be a 6 pick from the Nomad to the Nook, not the other way around, and not just a straight up pick, because Nook is all about being sneaky, and there's nothing sneaky in just playing a Nook out of nowhere. The leadership on Akron is going to, in the 6 pick phase, say they have a Nook just out of nowhere. You know, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah.
You know, it's not at all sneaky. You've immediately thrown away your advantage. In that previous round, Akron really giving off an awesome display of their gun skills, specifically that spray transfer we saw from JetCon in denying the plant, immediately whipping around to the zombie door to gun down the remaining Purdue attacker. And it would be another round going their way, and
5 seconds to go.
Purdue are struggling to find their stride in attacking these rounds. I think leaving the Cade on the board, maybe just a microcosm of their larger issues, but I mean, just attacking when there's a Thatcher ban already just exceedingly difficult. Now combo that with a Cade that's nearly impossible to remove. It doesn't help you. That's all I'm gonna say. It does not help you one bit.
Not at all. But we are starting to see yet again that same roam coming out from Akron. They've got what I know you work with Chief a lot, Stick. He talks about this staged roam where you have the players, they take out a drone, they take the utility, they pull back the site. But Hangman, he's going to be trying to shut off some of that rotational master window. IMAT, you know, for a cheeky little kill here, but at the moment, just not going to be given to him. That roam clear coming out from the bottom. Purdue, they've got all the ingredients. They just need to put this together, and then you've got a round win. They've got the room clear below, looking for those C4s. You've got a player on Astro. You've got a player on the quartermaster side, and Poseidon could come round now, but a C4 will go out from Arv, and it won't find a kill. Taking away very early utility is absolutely huge. Imat and Surma, though, playing towards study. They can collapse very quickly on this side if Purdue do go for this push, and if they are successful to get it. But Arv, he knows that something might be coming. As Goose Smitty, she starts pushing through towards the bathroom, pre-aiming this. Hangman watching those rotates. Arv has to realize something's up. He's going to be pulling back. He's just going to say, all right, I'm waiting. I'm going to hold this. I know there's one window. And as the ADS boom comes out, Hennessy's just going to wait. But Providence team killing. Oh, no, not your Nomad. Providence getting the team kill onto Goose Smitty. That is not the opening kill you want, but Astro control firmly in the hands of Purdue Gold. The C4 going out from Surma. That could turn out to be a huge kill.
Located a bomb.
It's around to those Astro stairs.
Not too sure what he wants to do just yet. The nitro cell detonated, but it actually does nothing. I don't know if it was blown up or maybe he got hit by an EMP grenade from Thatcher. As Surma collects another frag for Akron. The first they've actually been able to get as he shuts down the Ash in her Astro push. Arv shut down, so finally a refrag from Hangman on the Astro repel. A prone angle by Providence nearly taken down by Imad, who swings from Split. Surma goes for a reload. Dangerous in this position, but now with support from Imad, he doesn't have to worry about bathroom. Repel in from Hangman manages to somehow take out the Valkyrie, now in a 2v2 with Imad and Hennessy on a little bit less health than you might want. A drone in from Hangman, giving Poseidon the support he needs to go for this push. The drone shot out. Hennessy waiting, but actually he gets shut down, and now Purdue Gold for the first time with a considerable advantage. 12 seconds to go as Poseidon begins to plant. The support here from Hangman will be critical as Imat rotates in, and Purdue Gold, they secure their very first round. The duo of the Zofia and the Sledge getting it done.
An absolute classic and an absolute storm of a round for Hangman, being able to just say, okay, this isn't going our way after we team kill that Nomad. Able to find the first kill, rushing into Astro, the pre-fire, just the sense of having that, knowing that there's going to be a player there. You knew there was a roamer, as your Ash did die to that player. You go for the pre-fire, you get that kill. Then that just opens up everything on site. The Ace has got that rotation in Master looking into Split. Yes, they died to Imat, but then Imat realizes as soon as he gets a kill, he's alone. He pulls back, he waits. At that time, Poseidon and Hangman, they're getting their positions, they're getting this plant down.
Attackers need to locate.
Realistically, that was nothing but a good round and a good recovery from a very shaky start. Losing Goose Smitty immediately to a team kill, coming out for Providence. That is not the start you want. They're gonna have to recreate it though. Akron, they had a lot of positives about their defense. They had these positions set up. It was constantly a game of refrags until the very end. Although I think Akron, they just need to be able to hit that C4. If they can get that C4 kill, that was their round. Just Surma a little too early with it, I think.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think Akron in the round really, they relied a little bit too much on their heads-up gunfights, and the heads-up gunfights have carried them to victories in some of these previous rounds, but just so long as Purdue can, you know, get the first leg in the fight, they just immediately have the advantage, being that they're the attackers with stronger weapons in some of these ranged fights. The control of Astro, I think, fell just a little bit too early. I would have liked to see more utility dedicated, possibly a shield at the rotate, or just some kind of an additional support there so that they can burn more of the time, because once Purdue Gold managed to take control there, they were able to, in tandem, make sure that anyone pushing into Trophy was shut down, and then they got an easy kill with the drone support of Hangman as they moved into Split. And so forfeiting control, especially for Astro, needs to be either timed well, or, you know, you just need to figure out how you can forfeit that without losing control of the objective plainly.
Yes, a lot of master bedroom control going in favor of Purdue, and the first frag will as well. Poseidon being able to shut down Imat, and now you've got Hangman on Astro window. He has got that position of a filthy angle can be held if he wants to onto Astro window as he picks off those drones. But he still has control of that Astro area. Hangman can watch for rotates, but you've got to take out Arv as the C4 goes off, tagging up Mila, but yet again, not finding a kill, Kurma. You need to be able to find one of them very soon if you're going to be relying on the C4s. So the fire comes down through the floor. Surma's just got to pull back. He has to wait. And over half the round has started to tick down. There we go, my word. And Surma will pick up that frag yet again onto Mila over by that bathroom. Hangman looking for these shots into sight, but Surma's going for the rotate on the Astro stairs. You died here last time, so if you hear that repel sound, you need to be pre-firing. But Goose Smithy is still alive. That air jab is on the board, and Surma, he will not be able to hit it. And now this is the moment to get a kill. But Purdue, they don't want it. They're going to get another ADS air jab. They're going to go for the kill. Providence is going to find it. Hennessy on the refrag. He'll find two. He's going to be looking for a third. But Poseidon, he's going to find Hennessy with Jetcon getting that refrag. And now it's a 1v2. But this time in favor of Akron, and they will close it out.
Akron securing another round. It looked a little bit dangerous there towards the beginning, but the play inside of Trophy with that reinforced wall, as well as very simply just a whole foray of kills from Hennessy. He really was a big contributor on the round. Akron will take another one. Now with a 5-1 split, it seems we are seeing the more traditional Villa as was previously unexpected.
I'm going to be honest with that last round. I think one of the main things that Akron really had going for them was that Purdue seemed to tunnel vision very much on Surma. You see, Surma coming up the Astro says it happened once before and it caught them off guard. So obviously, as I always say, if it catches you off guard, you're going to expect it. That's when the air jab came in. The first one goes off. Okay, you know someone's there. The second one goes off. You just kind of see Purdue rush into that Astro area looking for the kill. Hangman, he's not watching that split. He doesn't win his gunfight onto the player, which whatever happens, it just doesn't work out. You're not ready for these refrags. You're running in, yes, you kill Surma, but the trade-off is just too good. Hennessy able to find the Hangman, and then also Poseidon or Providence or whatever player was in Astro. It was way too quick for me to actually notice. But we are going to see Purdue go for their defense, and that for their first defensive site, it's going to be Trophy Statue. And I don't know about you, Stick, personally, but this is my preferred site. I prefer this to your AVG.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse.
Yeah, I think it depends in large part how you defend it. I'm a big fan of the master bedroom extension because of the kind of skill-based mechanic of the attackers having to burn in and toss a lot of flashbangs, and the sort of the juggling you can get done between the Jaeger ADSs and the Wimai magnets. And it's kind of sad because that's not really going to be possible with the next patch. Now that Jaeger is not really just kind of like a place and forget style of gadget. You kind of need to structure your defense more specifically around that. But yeah, AVG, a lot of times it plays out the same. You can't really comfortably extend into study. I have seen recently a strategy where you'll try to extend and hold at red stairs so you can deny the red landing push as well as the 90 take. That was, I believe it was a Team Empire strategy that they use, which has not yet reached us here in Collegiate, sadly, but it's certainly interesting to see that kind of hold come out.
Yeah, and we are seeing the takes start to come out. We are having a few issues, so we do apologize for that, but we'll try and keep you updated best you can. And from what we can see right now, Purdue have got that extended roam, but do they know about this 90 player, the 90 window player on from Akron? He's going to cause a lot of problems when it comes to this push. He's going to be shutting down those rotates, and IMAT's going to take some damage, taking out the camera, as the wallbang was actually pre-called out by the Purdue players. But as we see IMAT prone, he's going to be looking to walk into this game's site.
Oh no. Here it goes. I don't know, McCready. I don't know.
It's looking quite tight at the moment. This is a Mexican standoff between us, the server, And between Goose and IMAT at the moment, it's not looking really good at the moment. But Mila, he's going to be pulling back. Not a single frag on either side so far. So Purdue still have a lot of time to work with. The more they burn, the more they buy themselves when it comes to this late round. That's what they're going to be wanting to focus on. You see Mila, he's still feeling pressure. But Gooseman, he's going to be feeling a lot more as she will go down to IMAT. Then IMAT immediately getting C4 down. That's a huge play from Providence, finding that entry fragger.
It's the best you could ask for here, and the time burn really coming out. Akron still trying to go for their clear inside of games and Aviator, being really careful not to let anything slip. This is an incredibly strong hold from Purdue, slowing things down. Akron will need to be much more quick when they go to attack the bomb site, and your spearhead of IMAT on the Ash is not at the best health that you could want. I suppose they've got the man advantage, so that's one thing. But the more time that you let tick down, the less and less that being up by 1 kill gives you.
But Providence, he's bought Purdue something money just can't buy. That's that vertical pressure. That's Akron just kind of sat there saying, I can revive this Ash, but what if they come around again? Mila's going to rip the head off IMAT and then just pull back to Memorial, being able to even it out. Slowing down Akron, over by that game's Aviator area. That is huge because that's so much more time you've got. I can't believe that you'd expect to see a team like Akron just slow down and stall out like that. But with that first push, they did get a opening kill. Now, though, they have to try and find something more as another C4 will be going off. Hangman just holding towards that Astro area, beside him waiting with that crossfire. They are ready for this push, which has to be coming, Stick.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think we are maybe back to fair waters here, though. So really hoping that things are good. But ultimately, so far, Akron got a serious lead. Purdue trying to at least fight back and make some of what they have. This being
5 seconds remaining.
oh no, I need to check whether or not this is Purdue's map pick, because I mean, if you go 1 to 5 in the first split, even if it is defense, yeah. Okay, that's a larger consideration. The fact that they have been pretty poor in a lot of their attacks kind of worries me. I don't know. It just, you've got to be prepared to execute your attacks when you play on Villa, but that's kind of an afterthought now because the attacking split is done and gone, and we're heading into the defense now. Purdue have had some early success. Akron suffering from a lot of the same issues which we saw burden Purdue. They were really slow. They failed to take significant control of the map to go for their execute. We talked about the opening kill, and that was really Akron's game on the defense. They were consistently shutting down a defender, or rather, as a defender, shutting down one of the attackers, and Purdue never really recovered from that. And Akron sort of suffered from some of the same issues. They got the man advantage very early on, but after that, the tunnel vision which we saw affect round number 6, I think also somewhat came to fruition here again.
Yeah, and as we head into round 8, Purdue were able to pick up that defense, and Akron, they've got that Roma yet again in the Jaeger. But just like we did see Akron being able to do, Hangman's just pulled back. He said, right, we're going to lose this 90 very quickly, but the C4 going to come out and take out IMAT very quickly, getting that Jackal, giving Hangman that freedom to roam around. That is huge.
Yeah, no more consideration. You won't have to worry about being cleared by the Inox. I'm gonna try to get this wall open. Curious, so we don't see a Cade played by Purdue here. That was a really big stumbling block for the attackers. There's a Mew Jammer though. One thing we'll have to clear. I think it does get removed, but the impact tricking is swift in the response from Goose. Not wasting any time to try and deny this here, but what does Arv say? He says, you've only got 2 impacts and I've got 3 sets of Selmas. So we'll play it the back and forth game, and then once you're done and out of impacts, I'll just throw my last Selma and say, hey, the wall's open now and I win.
Yes, but the biggest problem that you have to see is that they can only get that vault wall open now. They don't have her banner on the board, and
Attackers have located
now Akron 30, they've set this start as how they want, and you will see Mila unable to win that gunfight against Jekon, who just pushes in. He's able to find you, Smitty, as well.
Attackers
This man hitting 11 kills in 8 rounds. That is huge. The Nomad will go down and get finished off by Providence, but Arv is very practiced. Smoke Genesis following with 14 seconds left. Hangman on the flank, he finds one. He's going to be looking for more. He needs to find Hennessy, and Arv, the swing comes out from Hennessy, who's able to find a kill. It's all down to Providence. He has to shut this down and start match point, and he will with the double shotgun.
What a flurry. Yeah, I mean, Providence, he just completely back and forth, swap between them and shut everyone down from Akron. That's another defense for Purdue Gold, who seem to be on the comeback. Now the margin of victory here for Akron only stands at a 2-round lead. And with a couple more strong defenses like that, Providence will be looking pretty. And the rest of his team will follow in suit.
This is where Akron needs to pick up a round. We spoke about it before. Dining room kitchen. If there is a site to pick it up, it's the tertiary. Because teams, they might not always be prepared for that tertiary site or for that to be the linchpin in how these games play out. Like you said, 2 rounds separate both teams. Yes, that's a pretty comfortable distance for Purdue to close. But Akron are on the flip side 2 rounds away from victory. Winning this site gives them match point. Then they just have to win a couple more. Yes, they can lose the next round or 2, but that'll put them on match point. That's a guaranteed overtime. And then they get to go back on that defense, which is where we've really seen them excel. But here you go. They're starting to warm up. They're starting to wake up. They're getting going. The juices are flowing right now. And I think with the Legion, they just want to slow down this very fast aggression that Akron they've been looking to bring and haven't really been succeeding.
5 seconds left.
Heading down to the tertiary bomb site. Now this will be just a real big test of Purdue Gold's defensive strength, being that this is considered one of the weaker 2 bomb sites. Kind of depends who you talk to. Villa overall has some pretty strong and steady objectives. Akron can take this one. As you mentioned, they get the match point, which would net them another shot at defending, which is always a good sign. As well as it would further strengthen the lead and give Akron the opportunity to, I mean, just potentially close out the series if they can get accustomed to how Purdue are playing and, you know, take this even at a 2-4 split compared to what we saw in a 1-5 for Purdue Gold at the first half. Well, that'd mean they close out the series, and I don't need to tell you not the series, the map, and then they would push forward to their own map, and I don't need to explain, you know, the importance of taking your opponent's map pick. I mean, you're just so much more comfortable to go back on a map like your own pick, like Coastline, where the fraggers on Akron get to come out and play.
I mean, it worries me. If you're a Purdue player, it has to scare you. If you lose this map, mainly on the gunplay, that's where we've seen Akron just being able to excel on their defense. They take the gunfights, they win the gunfights, then they go back to side, and then they hold. Coastline is perfect for that, but right now we're seeing Poseidon take some damage from a C4 above him, thrown by Mila. That's not exactly what you want to see, but the bathroom control is coming out from Akron. All 10 players in the lobby still up, so, you know, it's not as bad as it could be expected to be, but Saber pushing into that Astra area will have his position given away by that camera. Hangman will be looking for the flank, looking to put some damage on, but here's the player over by Clay. I'm at Drony. I will be looking for the early gunfight and will win it, being able to take away the Mozzie and the C4, which could have been used for that late round when they're going for the blend. Luckily, though, for Akron, they still have guns on. Are able to get these wins, but Arv is going to get caught by that Legion mine. The Mute Jammer going to stop his ace charge from going out as well. You need your top 4 players to open that up. With 45 seconds on the clock, you can't wait much longer.
No, the attack and the execute needs to come. Now we'll see a glancing blow dealt by the impact grenade tossed up here. The hard breach actually failing from that impact trick. It'll get opened up, and now this is a route for the attackers to push forward it. JetCon guns down Providence, and now we'll see Poseidon confirmed as well. Akron are racing forward to take control of this map and send us to match point. 18 seconds remain, and Arvin in the control of the diffuser. He will begin to plant a wide swing from JetCon. Another kill, a third for the Zofia, wrapping around the corner. IMAT doubles up as Akron secure match point with a flawless round. They just aced their test on dining.
Yeah, that was the round they needed. They had that 5-1 split. That's the first attack round they've been able to pick up, and it puts them onto match point. Purdue, you know, the momentum, they're starting to get swinging, the motivation is there. But they've just been shot, and they've been put on match point. They need to have a flawless couple of rounds. Yes, you can win your trophy, you can win your statue, but then you need to go back to that dining, and if you've just lost it in that fashion, that's going to be a huge mental block. But talking about the round itself, the opening kill, when Hangman falls to IMAT with that R4C, that shuts down a lot of the late round. That shuts down a lot of potential you have if you want to say, you know, bring that Mozzie up. Get up main stairs, head towards landing, retake, and catch the Akron players off guard with the statue. That doesn't happen. With that one gunfight, you have shut down possibly what Purdue were wanting to bring into the late game. Because then towards the end, you had Mila and you had Providence, and they just weren't. Oh, sorry, you had Goose, and I believe it was Providence as well, but they just weren't ready. They weren't in positions that really benefited them. They were very much on the back foot. Whereas Akron, they had a lot of control of the map, a lot of confidence about them that you only get by being 3 players up.
Yeah, and it's good to talk about what else they were able to establish after beginning and getting that opening frag, because we saw Akron in the statue attack. They got the opening frag, but they were not able to translate that into anything further, into a confident execute or more and more frags as it slowly become an avalanche. That previous round, just the opposite. The avalanche began, and Purdue Gold, they tried to get in the way of it. They tried to stop it, and Akron they were just full steam ahead. They got absolutely every single frag, and Purdue got walloped with no chance to fight back. If Akron can come into this attack on Villa with strength like that, speed, confidence, and consistency like that, they can very easily seal this one out. And if that comes further, if it shows its head on Coastline, Purdue Gold are really in for a worry for this quarterfinals matchup.
But remember, this is the side that Purdue Gold were able to win. This is the one that really, I kind of looked at and I said, damn. They completely put Akron on the back foot. They slowed them down in that vault area in just a way that it's really difficult to get out of comfortably. So Akron, they need to just keep that pace. They need to keep that pace of consistency, like you said. And we're seeing something kind of different from JetCon. He's going up onto the roof and looking into the box window, probably looking for just anything that can help out his team, any information, any utility there. Just spot it best he can. But the drones are coming through. Akron, they haven't been slowed down. They've got that red stairs control. They've gone through Aviator Games. The Valkyrie camera's still up. The Q-Ping is still there. Hangman waiting with that C4 as IMAT. He has that red stairs. He knows that the player and the Valcam was there. He knows someone's going to be there. Arv, will find that kill on Poseidon and open things up in favor of Akron. As Arv is able to find another one. JetCon looking for one of his own as Gooseberry's able to find a refrag.
Site control looking desperate here for Purdue Gold. The plant begins, but the Jaeger shut down, and now a 2v4. Hangman could be dead in the next few seconds, and Mila with 4 attackers to contest with. Now add on the pressure of a post plant here. The Malusi has such huge odds, all the pressure on her shoulders. She'll go for the pickup, revive her teammate, and get another dog in the fight. The swing from IMAT, though, he's looking to seal this one out, and it guns him down. JetCon on the support. Akron steal their opponent's map pick and sweep through with a 7-3 victory.
The beams there just not helping at all for Mila. I respect picking up that Valkyrie, going for that revive and just saying, all right, it's not all on me, it's a team game. That's what I wanted to see. That I wanted to maybe see a drop and then head around to red. Yes, you didn't have much time, but at that point, you need to try something. It wasn't really what you needed. But look at those stats up there. Jetcon and Iman on an incredible 27 kills between them. And then you've got the other three players. You've got the other three players. They're playing the support, and they're still picking up 7, 8, 5, if my memory is correct. They're still picking up really good frags. They're still there, making the conditions right for the fraggers, but not being afraid to do it themselves. And with the ability and the prowess they've shown, especially on their defense, heading to the coastline, Purdue, they just need to really, really step it up.
If it's any player in Collegiate to turn Villa into a fragging map and just absolutely score so many frags and go nuclear, it would be IMAT. And he's insane. There's no other way to go about it. Akron just absolutely just sailed to victory. There were a few scares, especially in some of those early attacks from them. They suffered from a lot of the issues their opponents saw repeatedly. But they were able to clean it up, and they were able to find their groove. Something that Purdue never really accomplished during that first split. But, as mentioned now, we'll see Akron advance forward to our second map with their opponents, nabbed and in the pocket. Coastline will be up next, but before that, we'll be going to a 5-minute break as everybody gets prepared for this next map of the best-of-3 quarterfinals.
You just rather watch me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. Fall asleep when you're counting stars. Get it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. Now you wanna see me fall from a quarter mile. I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see who had it all. You had it all.
just a hype night and a packed stream of that Friday night collegiate action. And I'm really excited to see what Coastline will bring, because Coastline, a very frag-heavy map, I think that goes without saying. And if there's any team that I want to see in collegiate on Coastline, it's got to be Akron, because I know that they will put on a beautiful, very exciting show.
Yeah, I think for this Purdue, I'm assuming that they're going to have picked that defense first. I can't see it in my notes, but I'm sure you've got it written down somewhere. They're going to be on defense, let's be honest. They need to just pick up the aggression. They need to be winning these gunfights, taking them with the confidence and the knowledge that they are going to win it. Because if they don't, we're just going to see Akron being able to just out-frag them. And if you don't pick up as many rounds on your defense as possible, that's not going to be it. But I am actually mistaken. We will see Purdue Gold taking the attack. And I'm going to be honest, I've noticed quite a few times now, a lot of teams are looking a lot stronger in their attack, and they sometimes want to take it more often and just say, okay, we get the hard bit out the way. We pick up a couple of rounds, and then on the defense, we're warmed up, we're ready to go. Let's go. And speaking of going, the bands are going.
Bands are definitely going. We'll see the Capital taken off first. One of the big operators you see removed here for Coastline. A lot of kind of close quarters, sort of rat corner kind of places where you would need that Capital to dislodge people, and that allows the defenders a little bit more flexibility. We'll see the Jackal ban as well. Very uncommon to see him banned in competitive play, but on Coastline, that's one of the big maps where it is an exception, because Jackal makes roam clearing a whole lot easier. If you combo the Jackal and his tracking skills with pre-placed drones, you can shut down the defense really early, isolate some of the there are any, and then further move to attack the bomb site. Coastline is a very linear map. It doesn't have a lot of, opportunities for the defense to flank back up to circumvent the offense, because there are two staircases. Only two. You simply lock down the coverage for those stairs, and then you're pretty much golden to go for your attack. Coastline, a map that I think is really easy to master if you know what you're doing, if you're confident, and you come into it with a solid plan. Akron, though, on the defense first. I wonder how they're going to play it, whether we'll see them hold up and kind of go for more of a turtle style of play, or whether they're going to try and extend vertically and try to hold a large portion of the map for the duration of the round.
Well, the lineup that we're seeing right now, that kind of tells me that they're just going to try and bunker it. They got a more typical one. The Maestro's not banned away like we saw in Villa. So you bring that in. The Malusi, that quite literally slows down these attackers, slows down that team. She's on the board as well, with the C4, with the MP5, a very formidable defender in today's meta. And you got Jaeger Online, and let's be honest, so I really have to explain how these two operators just slow down attackers. I feel like we're looking at a bunker strat, but heavy emphasis on these roamers trying to find these kills. You have a roamer or two, they're looking to get these advantages, and they're looking to bring in the attackers close to Akron, start slowing them down with the Mine, the Malusi, the Maestro, then the roamers strike. That's what I want to see, and that's how I think we're going to see it.
5 seconds left.
Bench is right.
Yeah, so we're going to have like a kind of a loose hold on the bomb site from what I'm seeing initially. Here you've got Evil Eyes Banshees slowing down the assault prospectively from Purdue Gold once they begin to set up for the objective take. We've got the Buck on the board, an operator which doesn't see a whole lot of play, but similar to the Jackal in that he kind of has a larger impact on a almost sort of Nuketown style map like Coastline. He's able to establish vertical play a lot quicker, and most of the time, having the Buck allows you to be more flexible in the way that the Sledge doesn't really allow you to. JetCon on an early roam, he's extending down into Sunrise, making sure that the attackers aren't able to dislodge any control inside of Hookah. A concern for him, though, will be Mila as he pushes in the Ash, holding off his flank. Now, JetCon almost certainly Sunrise Bar will be his grave, but how long he's able to survive here is the big kicker. Rotates behind the bar. The Ash, though, is waiting for him, and he almost manages to get it. He's looking for an opportunity to flee. Now it's further pressure established by Goose, who manages to cut him down, and now the early 5v4 taken in the lead for Purdue Gold.
Yeah, Goose Smitty will be able to extend that lead, being able to find Arv, taking away the smoke. That late round just got a lot easier here for Purdue. And I think just having Jetcon in the Sunrise, he got drawn out by one player. But he didn't really realize that there might be other people setting up as soon as they drone him out. Overstayed your welcome very much. Now you've lost control of blue. Now your buck is really going to excel like you talked about. Sledge can't shoot up. Can't use a sledgehammer above unless he gets a very obscure spot. But the buck is constantly useful in this role. IMAT having the floor ripped from beneath him, as is Surma. Hennessy, though, playing that blue bar, or the aqua bar, sorry, going to try and be a thorn in the side and just slow it down, as Goose Smith is able to take a little bit of damage, but not enough to get the kill. Now Poseidon setting up that crossfire onto the mine and the vertical pressure. Hennessy, oh no, he's able to find Goose Smitty, but how many more can he find before he falls as the utility starts to come out? One flashbang will go out, or money following in the other direction now. That's the flash. That's the breachy charge going out, able to tag him up just enough. The frag grenade follows, but Poseidon catches him on that rotate out. It's all down to Surma and IMAT now, with 30 seconds left.
Fleeing the bomb site, we'll see IMAT drop down, but he's quickly fragged out by Hangman, and Poseidon gets another one from the big window angle. Purdue Gold with a strong initial attack here on Hookah. And Akron, they were not prepared for the speed at which Purdue rampaged the entire map, not wasting any time, not giving any opportunities for Akron to take any type of advantage. That's the kind of strength that I would have liked to see on Villa, but it's here and now that it really matters. Purdue's hopes to keep themselves alive in this best of three really hinge on their attacking success here, because if you give Akron the opportunity to take rounds to achieve the 3-3 split, things will be looking grim once we see UA pick up on the offense, because they are going to move just as fast as Purdue have gone, and perhaps even more so if that is possible.
Attackers need to locate
If I
and
was to
defuse as
describe
many
that
bombs
in
as
one
they
word,
can.
it would have to be clinical, because that's how it felt with just Purdue. Just walking around, putting the pressure on Akron, and setting up these crossfires they just couldn't contest. They took out Sunrise, they realized that's going to be a huge issue if they don't deal with it. They've thrown it out. Jetcon stays there too long, he doesn't find a kill, he finds a couple of drones, but Mila's over in blue bar, already has that pressure, already gets the kill, and even if Mila fell, someone else was there. That allows Poseidon to play on that window, get those crossfires, and I mean,
10 seconds left before
no. Hennessy was playing that aqua bar, pulled back as the frag grenade came through, and had no clue that Poseidon was on the big window, not even called it out on the team.
Attackers are moving to
And
defuse
just
the
Purdue,
bomb.
they're just walking around, and now the name of the game is just consistency.
Yeah, for Hennessy there, I feel like, you know, what do? You rotate into billiards, and there's someone waiting at your window. You stay put, you're gonna get naded out or shot and just obliterated from below or from, you know, outside on the balcony. You try to rotate through into luggage, you probably get killed anyway by one of the players of Purdue who were still waiting on the balcony rappel. There wasn't a whole lot of options. I mean, maybe he could have, like, I don't know, gone invisible and went through the floor. I mean, what do you really do in that circumstance? There's not a whole lot of options for you. We'll see Goose taking a bit of damage on the vertical play from the Mozzie, trying to pester him a little bit as he moves in for the hookah push. Drone spots out IMAT, who now rotates. He's going to go back and retreat to the objective. Not a repeat of the hookah bomb site for this round. We're headed down to Kitchen. Probably my favorite bomb site on the map. I think it's the most defensible, and the ability to incorporate the vertical extension, not seen in this round, but could be in further, is one of my favorites in terms of the play.
Yeah, we're seeing Akron just go for that bunker, saying we've got a pulse, we've got a couple of C4s on the board, which we can use against you, but Hangman already taking that early control, as well as Poseidon on the sledge. One C4 will go off, but Surma's just not going to land it. That is all the C4's gone now, and it will be up to Arv with that SMG-11 to find the kill on Tequila. He will be able to do that, so a lot of utility is going to get drained with the ADS. And the Banshees haven't been cleared out. That's really not going to help Purdue in any way, but by no means a round end. Akron, they can still win this, but so can Purdue. They just have to use this time properly now. And Hangman, he looks for one. He's able to tag up Hennessy. Doesn't know he downed him. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Hennessy could get revived or could be finished off. And Surma seems to be going for all that revive. Hangman just holding the angles. Doesn't know how low the player is, but he knows that it has to be so low. But still, 45 seconds on the clock, and Purdue, they need to stop preparing to make this push. They haven't got that service area. Goose Smitty, though, is going to find Aguilar Hennessy. That might be what they need. The Nomad actually will be spotted out. The ADSs will start to be burnt, and Arv is just going to walk away. He's just going to pull back.
Still trying to find any last trimmings they can get on this vertical play, but Arv shuts down Providence, who tries to move in for the service plant. Poseidon taking up that very same position, but a little bit worse for where he's been tagged up for the duration of the round. Hangman not in the best position to support, and a gas canister will likely stall the progress. Now Poseidon down, nobody in a position to reclaim the diffuser. This is surely an Akron round as Arv secures a triple kill. The Buck tries to push in, diffuser in hand, but Iamat takes down Goose, and Akron secure the second round of defense.
Okay, that's very much the flip side of what we saw in the first round. The first round we saw a very clinical, very organized Purdue. Whereas in that round, they just kind of went around, they tried to get the floor open, they were taking these one-on-one gunfights, they weren't in refrag positions, the smoke was still there, still had a lot of utility with 30 seconds left, that bench was still on the board, the smoke canister's still there. Akron, they were just ready, they were prepared. There's nothing. I never felt like they were in a poor situation. Which, when you have kitchen sight, you have two soft breaches on the top floor. That's not it. You want them to be in a better position. But now they are going to be heading back to that hookah. Hopefully, going to be trying something else. Because we saw how Purdue just dismantled their defense. I want to see maybe Akron, they go for a different kind of throw. They maybe have that place security or over by main lobby to rotate quickly around, because we know that Mila, he will come into that office.
Mila does not have the best run of luck here for Coastline, or even on the previous map as an entry. It seems he's been
10 seconds to go.
kind of hit or miss. He had some really good opening frags midway through on Villa, but during the early phase, both back then and now here, his impact hasn't been the most felt. One thing you want to look for here as we go back to this bomb site is what changes for the hold downstairs. Jet Khan is still back in the same position for Sunrise, but now he has the ability to get some support from his teammates. You've got footholds open in the courtyard wall. And so anyone that tries to push in, such as the Ash, if she tries to do that same trick we saw her do last time, and so they could get the pinch done, they're going to be really in a dangerous spot. Iamat shuts down Poseidon early. That's a big frag. A set of grenades taken off the board. Frags, if you will. And now loss of the L85, a very usable weapon. You see the vertical play as well from Hennessy. He's taken a bit of a punishment here, but still the time burn starting to come in. Akron much more loose on their hold. They're not trying to stay put. They've got a lot of roamers trying to delay the progress, and somebody's actually managed to push in through blue. Hangman will go down. Iamat likely to get to confirm. The Nitro cell tosses. It connects. And now it's 3v5. Oh no, but the Zofia spotted out! And he gets it. What a kill now as we move into a 2v5. Akron looking much improved on their defense, and with a lack of a clear, no frags yet for Purdue Gold.
Yeah, Mila will take that damage. I'm not able to find that kill. And now it's all down to Providence, who is on his own towards his lobby. Doesn't see them, does he? Oh, I'm mad. He's going to tag him up, but will fall eventually. The first kill going in favor of Purdue this round, but it might be too late. Time definitely favoring Purdue, but realistically, you've got a lot you need to do. But Akron, they have the time to rotate. You see Hennessy going for this vertical play. He's looking, just waiting for the push, as is Arv. He spots it and calls it out. He's running away. He's going around to this position. We get our roamers nearby. I want to talk about how Purdue approached that round. They did not expect any adaptation from Akron. Iamat listened to it. He was playing that security area. He came around. He got the kill on the Poseidon. That shuts down any hope of using that big window with the sledge. And Providence, he is going to shoot that camera. With 40 seconds left, he's going to have to deal with an older on these cool 5 stairs. Still has 3 flashes. One of them will be going out, but accidentally flashes himself. And this isn't a very good start to that 1v4 clutch. The air jab will go out, and JetCon is on the hunt. My man is hungry, but Providence is going to head out. He's going to go for a walk. He's going to open up this hook a window and hook a door, but I don't see it happening. Providence, you're 16 seconds left. Time is ticking down, and you've got this Akron defense just ready. Kirma just gets pre-fired, but Hennessy's there for the trade. Something magical coming out of, let's be honest, a round that was over a while ago.
Really a nightmare scenario here for Purdue. Akron fell flat on their face in that first hookah defense and then fire back with an excellent disposition, making every change necessary in order to take the lead. Their vertical hold on that initial round, which fell so quickly, repeated, changes made, and executed near perfectly, with the attackers never able to really get into that same clinical groove that you described in the first round. And it's as Purdue starting to fall behind already. What we needed on Coastline is their dominance on attack to set the pace. They were able to achieve that on the first round. It was looking up, but now Akron immediately are able to make the necessary change in order to find just a whole lot of success. Bars. One site we haven't seen so far, I guess, excluding Penthouse, which we don't really ever see, so excuse me if I may. It just, I guess, it comes down to how Purdue attacks it. They can try to go for that same vertical control that won them round number 1. Except now, in reverse, they'll need to take control of hookah as well as billiards. But I don't imagine that Akron will give it up freely. They're going to try to defend it. They're going to try to stall out the intel game using both the Mute Jammers as well as IMAT's Aussie Pests. And they're going to make it... Purdue will have to pay in blood, sweat, and tears to take control of this vertical play. Because Akron are going to... They're not going to allow you to.
I think that's where we see Akron really display why they deserve to be in the quarterfinals of the Premier Playoffs. Like you said, you'd rather this be a grand final matchup, but at the moment, Akron, they're showing this adaptation. They're saying, what's going wrong? Why do we win that last round? This is why. So with those JetCon didn't have to do anything different in the last round. IMAT was there to support, but Arv is going to be finding that first kill onto Poseidon. The oof coming out in chat. Oh, that's not a good sign. As JetCon starting to get pressure in service, but time he can delay. Oh, not anymore. He's really able to find that refrag. We'll take out the Jaeger. We'll get that kitchen control, but you've still got to go and clear the rest of the site. IMAT has pulled back onto the site. Oh, he's back there as well. Realistically, Akron, they're stacking heavily towards this west side. And if they can just hold it down and just lock down these vertical angles, which IMAT's holding, and Surma on coolpoints, he's got as well. It's going to be really difficult for Purdue because it's going to feel really uncomfortable with the angles they have to contest.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Especially in attempting this wide sweeping clear. Right now, Akron stand at somewhat of a disadvantage. It kind of depends on how you look at it. If Purdue try to go immediately, just speed into sight and disregard IMAT up on the top floor, they could maybe utilize the fact that there's only really a 2-strong hold. The 2 players holding inside of Sunrise, somebody lurking on the Cool Vibe stairs, as well as IMAT waiting and baiting inside of the hookah hallway. Rotates now, drone shot out by Goose. It forces the rotate. He'll have to try and get a bit more aggressive. 1 minute and 5 seconds here as Mila manages to move inside of luggage, but IMAT is actually moved in behind her now. Goosemitty shuts down the Hennessy, and now 4v3 advantage in the favor of Akron with a very weak site hold. And with Arv dead as well, only Surma remains to try and deny this plant, but he's got so many players watching him. IMAT takes out Goosemitty. We got another player going down, but they can't manage to stop the plant, and it will be successful. 40 seconds to go. Everyone moves in as things get set into place. Nitro Cell detonates, but it doesn't get anything. Mozzie tries to knife around the corner. He's baiting out the ace, and now Surma goes down. This kill is so important for IMAT. The pistol in hand, he's rounding the corner, but Ace is playing keep away. And IMAT now with the triple kill to reach this clutch. He'll pick up his teammate, but you've got 15 seconds to take out the Ash and go for the plant with Surma no longer a consideration. IMAT attempts the stick, but Mila on the vertical play. Purdue Gold secure the round.
A very, very close round there, and Mila just keeping his head and saying, right, I'm just going to stay up here. I'm just going to hold this. I'm not going to drop. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to get this kill when the revive comes out. Really well played coming out from him. And I want to say, I would have said, looking at that round with half the round left, I would have given Akron the advantage on paper. However, I feel like IMAT, he pushed up a bit too far. He didn't hold towards that aquabar area. Mila just literally walking in, getting those vertical holes, and just able to use it. IMAT made them for him and just walked away. Yes, he rotated around. He was able to find 2 kills. Didn't stop the defuse, though. That's the key part. That rotate would have been absolutely huge and round winning if it was about 20 seconds earlier. And with that Ash still on the board, still on the top floor, you can't go for something like that quick. And unfortunately, they just let Mila just get some free kills. The only 2 kills he's got so far coming down to that 2v1 scenario. And I mean, let's be honest though, that's the time to really step up and be able to find those kills.
I think if IMAT was maybe a little bit more assertive on his round, he could have delayed the tank. I mean, the rest of Akron, they did their jobs. Yes, site control fell, but IMAT, there was just so many kills to get, and you can't expect IMAT to kill literally every single opposing player on all the rounds. Arv got the opener, but the support needs to be there, and these kills have got to be... You're missing some contributors. JetCon has been pretty quiet. He's not, performing at that same level we saw in the previous map, and maybe that's just him getting unlucky in a few rounds, or perhaps it's something else that we don't know. But Surma, no kills to his name, a donut on the board. Hennessy's only got 2 for this now 5-round match, and Akron could be way out ahead just if the kills were maybe a little bit more evenly spread.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment, but Mila, he's going to be pushing into this aqua bar area. IMAT below, ready and waiting, but Mila really starting to just get that confidence behind him and just say, okay, I just won that last round all by myself realistically at the end. I'm going to start getting more opportunities on the board. Clearing this top floor is huge for the roamers. As soon as you know you've got top floor, you get flank cams or claymores, you watch the flank. Or Nomad air jabs, but Arva is going to look and try to get Hangman, but unable to do it. Will just do some damage. Keeping that skeleton key on the board, that is something you can't allow. If you're going to be going for a shot, you need to make it hit. And the pulse on the board, they're going to leave that bunk alive. They're going to get C4 off, but it's not going to find the kill. Milo's going to be looking for something for that drone hole. Get it. And half the round's already gone. Purdue, they're looking more in control, but Hangman, he's about to go down. He's about to get finished off. And Arv will do it with the canister. Poseidon has to look for a refrag, but now Purdue, now they're starting to pull back. They're playing it safe. They're not contesting, aside from Surma, who's just not going to die. Poseidon, though, will find out refrag onto Arv, bringing us down to 4. The Buck's gone. That's a lot of vertical pressure. You still have sledge, yes, but they can't be focusing on everything, and that sledgehammer gives your position away. The C4, though, not doing the damage. The C4s today just don't seem to be hitting them.
It's a war zone inside of Kitchen and Stock right now. Explosions constantly as everyone runs to find safety. Poseidon clearing out the bathroom. He doesn't want to have that same situation repeated where the plant was very swiftly denied by an SMG-11 lying in wait. Poseidon will take demand advantage, but JetCon goes aggressive and shuts down Providence. A run out from Towels. He'll have to rotate now if he wants to give the support to his team as Mila cuts down Hennessy, finally getting some form of contribution. IMAT and Jet, though, the fragging duo, swinging around the corner. The Mozzie will find the first of them. Control of the diffuser. We need to see a plant attempted here, but it seems these last 2 attackers, they're somewhat split apart, and now the diffuser is down. The sledge will have to push in and regain it. An air jab detonates. He pushes forward, trying to find this kill, but Mozzie just keeps playing it safe, and Akron take round number 5 as they push further and further in denying the aggression.
So, Stick, I've got something I'm dying to ask at this point. How do you feel now just saying you can't expect Iron Man to get all the kills, and then the man, he just goes for it? You know, being able to pick up those last 3 kills at the end, that was absolutely huge. Watching the Ash get taken out, then Smitty trying to go for the refrag, and you just got to kind of think, maybe Purdue didn't have crossfires in place. They weren't prepared for IMAT to just come out guns blazing, were they?
Okay, well, I've got 2 answers to that somewhat rhetorical question. I've got 1, and that's IMAT is just goated. And 2, the more serious answer, Arv made some contributions. He shut down the buck, the impact was definitely felt, and Purdue were not able to fully get that vertical dominance, which they might have wanted to. And moving even further from that, the fact that you can consistently count on Arv to get these opening kills is big, especially for a map like Coastline, where it seems like that initial frag kind of gets the ball rolling for one of the 2 teams, and they tend to go further in taking victories. If you're looking at the very first round, Goose got the opener, and it went in the favor of his team, Purdue. Second round, Arv got the opener and went to Akron. I didn't manage to see who got the opening kill for round number 3. That was a pretty solid Purdue round, though, in the post-play. Round number 4 on bars is the major departure, though, because Arv got the opener. He managed to shut down Poseidon, but we talked about it in that the rest of the team just was kind of not there. JetCon has gotten a few more kills, and it's unusual that he either gets a kill and then kind of gets traded, or he just, like, disappears, and no one is able to find him.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, though. But we are going to be starting our third return to this site. Now, we have seen Purdue win that first round. They were able to get that win by just dismantling it. Then we saw Akron bring just so many adaptations where they knew Purdue were going to try the same thing. So they were prepared for it. They had IMAT playing where he is now, looking for those opening kills, but now Purdue, they're ready for it. They've got Mila ready to look to try and get these kills. Providence in support up top. The drone is watching. The air jab is down. They have to shoot it out. Mila will spot the player towards the bathroom. Will be looking to go for the kill. But doesn't find it yet. IMAT will just be pulling back with JetCon coming in to support. The drones will be taken out. This time is ticking away, but that's exactly what Akron need to do this training time. IMAT will fall though, but not before dropping Mila down to or just about half HP. But Purdue need to get more map control. They need to get lines of sight on the board. They have got that billiards wall open, but no actual presence. And that's where Akron can just hold. They can just wait and say, right, you've got to get this. Otherwise, you push into a choke point for it.
Such a big opening kill here to shut down IMAT, the only player really with any substantial number of kills for his team, barring Arv. But losing him could be the difference maker, especially on a site like Hookah, which has been pretty weak, and it's been mostly reliant on their vertical hold, which Purdue, I think, are going to just not even address. They know the JetCon is down there, they know that they have the advantage, so why bother? Why bother go down there and, you know, try and take him out, waste the time and the utility that needs to get that done? But a concern of not clearing JetCon is him coming up on the flank to try and destabilize things. Now taking out Mila and putting the man advantage back at a 4v4, Purdue Gold have got to speed things up here and reclaim their man advantage. A nice shield should protect Luamai. No coverage though, and the frag will detonate, and now the deployable is gone. Luamai pushes back further. Arv still failed to have been cleared with 25 seconds to go. Purdue's chance of winning the round fades more and more as the time continues to be wasted. Vana detonates. Now they've got an angle opened up. No longer can you play safely on the bars. Surma, though. The Maestro finds one. JetCon continues to contribute, and Providence begins to plant with little support from his repelled teammate. And Providence goes down without completing it. Goosemany has got to do something. The hopes of his teams to escape at an even half fade away as Akron. They take it at 4-2.
I like what we saw Purdue do, where you said they just ignored JetCon. They said, right, okay, we're gonna go around, we're gonna say they were very dangerous on that position, let's be honest. JetCon, he's very, very lethal. On the Jaeger, in that position, just knowing that this man can come out of anywhere. Yeah, I understand why you want to avoid it. So they went around, they went for luggage, they went for VIP, but they didn't commit. They didn't go towards Aqua. They put a player on big window instead. And like you said, with Jetcon down in Sunrise, just open that window. That's a free kill onto Mila, and something you really hate to see. From that point then, Purdue, they needed to rotate. They needed to go for the split push. They couldn't just commit the VIP side. And then they went around into Hookah, tried to get the plant down, and against the Alder, with time constraints, it's really, really difficult to do. And that's why we do see Akron going on to their attack 4-2. They'll be attacking the side they just defended with pretty much the same lineup. The only change will be beside him bringing the Bandit instead of, well, we saw IMAT on the last round. But unsurprisingly, IMAT on that Ash. You've got Jack on the field looking to get a couple more kills. Currently towards the bottom of his team, actually joint fourth when it comes to kills.
10 seconds to go.
That's why I let you
5 seconds remaining.
I just can't be doing that.
Well,
Attacker's objective is to defuse
let's
the
talk
bomb.
about a stat, and that's the fact that Akron emerged from the half with a 2-round lead. Coastline, I think in Collegiate and Siege at large is just kind of more of an attacker-sided map. It's really easy to set up successful crossfires, and you can get so many frags just by playing really aggressive, and that's Akron's name. The A in Akron stands for aggressive. I'm just gonna, maybe that's not true, maybe I'll get fact-checked, but the way that they play really leans into that, and I think we're gonna see them have a lot of success here in shutting down Purdue. Poison falls early, and now your Bandit is gone. I'm out with an early frag. This begins the tempo. And Akron they're gonna swing. They're gonna get their frags, and they're gonna go aggressive. It just seems so unlikely that Purdue Gold can emerge from this half with anything less than,
Attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped. Attacker
2 to
recovered
4.
the diffuser.
And that puts Akron way over the margin to take a victory.
Yeah, it really does. I was saying to my girlfriend, he's watching currently, as we do see Hennessy get taken out by Mila, and the drop will come out. If we can see Akron pick up that 4th round on their defense, I can see them getting this game. But otherwise, if they can't, it could go to Purdue. But Jackon, he's going to bring us closer to getting that 5th round on board. For Akron taking away Smitty, taking away the maestro of all operators. The only other huge kill he can get in my eyes is that smoke for that will mine. And that's going to have to be one of the next couple of kills. Hangman will start to take some damage as Providence looks to get a kill of his own. But it's going to be Mila who's able to find Surma, removing the Nomad, removing the air jabs, but most importantly, removing that long-range gun in a map where, just like you said, the attackers, they have that natural advantage. They can set up the crossfires, they can do it from range, and they can get these kills. Jekyll and IMAT seemingly unsure of what to do, but at a minute down in a minute left, 3v3 on Coastline. This is still a really good position for them to be in. They can get those players around, start setting up those crossfires, utilities starting to come out. They don't have to worry about Maestro cameras. And you're seeing Arv, he's starting to see these smoke canisters. IMAT, he's just walking around, and Purdue can't stop him.
This is make or break here. Ryan Matt, creeping through the hallway. The player standing to the left of the door. Jaeger realizes it, and he swings around to take him down the 416. Maybe a second here for Hangman as he manages to down Arp. And now Jetcon, the final attacker remaining to keep his team in the round. Hangman is confirmed in a triple for the Jaeger as Purdue Gold race forward in round number 7 and take an early victory here for the second split. This is what we need from them. But we saw in the first split, they took the first round. It was dominant. But then they fell off afterwards. Akron is such a good team when it comes to the adaptations. If Purdue can continue to perform just like that, keep Akron at arm's length, then they might just stand a chance against the attacking onslaught.
I feel like yet again we're seeing Akron, they just kind of said, right, IMAT's going around, he's killing a lot of them. You're getting a couple of kills on the rest of your team, but IMAT's just walking in, he's going. Immediately, Hangman gets that kill on Vaz. But then you got to think about Arv and Jekon. They are both by Hookah Door.
Attackers
One
need
has
to
just gone
locate
down.
and defuse bombs.
They were begging for just one swing to come out from that game, and that's exactly what happened. Player going down, then Hangman just had to confirm that and find the kill on Jekon. Realistically, I don't like the positioning Akron had. I think they got a bit too comfortable when it came to this execute, relying a bit too much on IMAT. However, though, heading down to the kitchen, heading down to another defensive site. Akron, they have the opportunity to make this work. They brought that buck on Hennessy. This man, he's just comfortable playing the buck on anything. He will bring it time and time again. We saw it before, we saw it on Villa, and we're going to see a very nice upstairs hold coming out with the Jaeger ADSs, and that will mine
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
theater. So, Purdue Gold are very much aware that their win condition is holding this top floor. And Akron, I'm pretty sure they know the same.
Well, this is one thing that I think Akron largely missed in their defenses that I was expecting to see, and that's the vertical. I really did not try to dedicate anything to holding in top floor. Somebody's in bar, though. And Malusi totally unaware of this, and now IMAT begins another opening kill. Twice now, IMAT has trumped Poseidon for the second split in the opening kills. Got a bit of a streak going now. The Mozzie waiting inside of bars, but he gets cut down. The skeleton key from behind the couch, and now Akron up by 2 with nothing to lose. They just got to keep moving forward with this pace. Control of the objective seems pretty soft with so many people roaming. Hangman over by reception, and still Mila upstairs. Providence falls. The objective is in dire peril.
Really are right now. Akron, they have barely any. They have
Attackers
2
have dropped
drones
the bomb
on the
diffuser.
board.
Attackers recovered
One's
the bomb
out, actually out there. They have 2 out on the field, 1 in pocket. That's very, very poor management from them. Or Purdue doing really good to pull them off. Providence really ain't to work. Smoganis is going out, looking to just hold the service. He can hold those 2 areas. A minute 25 on the clock, and they still do not have that top floor control. Arv is going to try and burn out ADS here. Hennessy's actually going for a plant. They expect it to be with Arv, but it's not. Hennessy, where is this man? He's able to get the plant in that door, and now Arv's able to find Providence. What has happened? A 2v5. Akron's able to find another one as Jetcon finds a kill to Hangman. It is all down to Mila on that top floor, stuck in theater. He needs to ace. He needs to defuse. Akron, they're set to go 3 and 5.
Defender is approaching a kill zone.
This is what I was talking about as being worried. Purdue started off with such a great defense, but then they cannot string them together. And Akron, all they need to do is wait here. The time is already too low. Even if Mila ran directly to the diffuser and started to defuse, he wouldn't make it. And Akron will round out their second attack with a flawless victory. It's so concerning because I fully realize Purdue played so well in that first round. They shut down Akron. They stopped them from playing aggressive. They got smart kills here and there, and they were able to burn down the clock until Akron was forced to execute in a position that was just terrible, and the Jaeger was waiting for them. Hangman got a huge triple kill. But they do so well like that, and then they flip-flop and just completely play the direct opposite, and nobody gets a kill. As you mentioned, they thought that
Defenders,
Habana had the
protect your
diffuser,
bombs
and I
from
think
being used by
anyone
attackers.
would expect that. You're gonna plant at the window. Akron, though, they realized that somebody was holding above near the door, which is not really that common of a plant spot, so they had, I believe it was the Ash, up on the roof. She opened up the wall, so no longer could the Wamai play really comfortably. And he rotated, I think, kind of just set in his ways that they were going to plant at the window. When they never did that, the denial failed to come out, and Akron secured the round.
I think when you start losing
Bomb
players,
located by
unfortunately,
attackers.
Mila,
10 seconds to go.
you've got to start rotating. If you haven't had that much pressure up top,
5 seconds remaining.
because you got to realize, if they were going to take that top floor
Attacker's objective is
and use that plant, they would have
The
done it by
attacker's
now.
bomb diffuser
They
has
didn't
been
have
dropped.
time to do that
Attackers
and then
recovered the bomb
execute
diffuser.
when they're at the time when they were starting to plan. Going back there though, that we need to see this adaptation because Akron, if they can pull this off again, get that sunrise control, get Hennessy and get the plant down, or Surma, whoever's alive at the moment, get them in that door. If nobody's watching it, that's just a free match point. And I really do not want to see that. The drone work is coming out as Akron do look to push onto that match point. Purdue Gold looking to stave them off because if Akron pick up this round, that puts them on to series point and can put them through to the next stage of the Premier Playoffs for Hennessy and Simmer moving in towards this blue bar. Hangman, he's playing very aggressively in the lobby, will take some damage, but not enough to die. Won't get anyone in return onto his opposing number, but that's okay for now. He can hold, but he has been called out. The Flying Jones of Hennessy and Simmer can be watching that position, and an air jump can go out. Arv will spot Hangman, and he's not looking in a great position. Arv is just going to be waiting.
Hangman kind of trapped in between a rock and a hard place. He actually manages to rotate an Arv. Substantial amount of damage dealt to him. He's got a sliver now. You'll want to play that much more safe, and gotta rely on someone else to get you your opening frag. Arv going down wouldn't be the hugest loss. Hard breach isn't really that all important on a map like Coastline, and that's, I think, why you can kind of slot the buck into your composition, something we were talking about earlier, because you don't need to have like a Thatcher, Maverick, Cade, all of these operators. Arv, I said to get someone else to get the opening frag. Akron, are you listening to me? Arv just gets it anyway.
They don't care, Stick. That's going to be the Jaeger taken away from the person who had the first gunfight with that about it on 1 HP. Hangman, that is not a gunfight you can afford to lose. That's the flashbangs on the board. Both drones going out for Arv. They've been used. They've got information. They know a lot about your defense. And you've lost that first gunfight. Hennessy will be looking to flash and looking to get the plant, but the vertical holds may give the game away. Jetcon able to find a kill on Gusto. Poseidon with a run out. Able to find Arv. Finish the fight for Hangman. But that's still only 1 kill. They need to try and get more. Poseidon, though, will be able to do it. He's able to find Imac, gets refragged very quickly by Simmer, but Poseidon gets Hennessy. Finally, though, you see Poseidon get taken out. It's all down to Mila yet again in Courtyard. Jetcon there to take him out and put Akron on series point, Stick. Series point in the playoffs.
You cannot underscore enough the importance of that round victory for Akron, who now stand within 1 victory of pushing themselves to the semifinals and locking in their spot to move forward. It's saddening to see because Poseidon put so much effort in that round. He picked up the team, he put him on his back, he ran out, he shot Arv, he returned to the bomb site, and he got 2 more, but there were simply too many attackers. And just as I said, for Akron, that IMAT could not find all the kills, neither can Poseidon. This is a team game that we're playing. Even if it is on Coastline, you still need to coordinate. And Akron simply are playing much better.
Yeah,
and now...
I'm sorry, I'm gonna get you off because I want to talk a little bit about what you were saying. Poseidon can't expect to get all the kills because the way that constantly refrag after refrag, you're seeing 1 player go down. Yes, Arv gets taken out of the window, but then you lose your player Hennessy over towards lobby. Immediately, you're seeing a player of Purdue get taken out. Poseidon gets another kill, but then another player gets taken out. Poseidon runs to rotate after finding Surma. Then gets shot. It's all down to Mila. Like you said, it's just, you can't expect Mila to get all these kills. And the way that Akron are positioned, there's always a refrag available. No matter what happens, as soon as one of their players went down, one of Purdue's followed very quickly. With the opening kill, you know as well as I do, it's a numbers game. And the math just does not help Purdue at all.
That's a great way to put it. And Poseidon surely hoping to find a few more frags on the round. He's been the big fragger for his team, and he's had a lot of the responsibility to perform well. Hiding inside of security, he's droned out, so they know his position, but nobody is able to lock off his rotate, and so he freely escapes to go back upstairs. Maybe return to the bomb site, maybe cause a bit of a disruption inside of Penthouse or logistics. Still waiting. Pretty slow things on the round. Akron not looking to spoil their advantage and lose the opportunity to close this out. Even if they were to fail in this round, they've got a whole host of bomb sites ahead of them, many of which they've already found success on. Hookah, the one objective that they lost in round number 1. Or for the first round of the second half.
A bomb has been located.
And it was expertly done. Purdue were able to shut them down, and they moved so incredibly slowly, something we have seen a little bit here for this round. Akron have not yet been able to get the opening frag, which has been the linchpin of a lot of their success.
Oh, and Hangman's gonna make sure that they are not able to check on someone you cited earlier as someone who just hadn't woken up. There, he's gonna get shut down. Hennessy's gonna take some damage, as we can see, but starting to go for a flank. Hennessy, though, will get that kill onto Providence. Able to even it out a little bit. Hangman gonna be looking to keep that advantage as he finds Hennessy as well. Poseidon has made it into office. Surma doesn't spot him until it's too late. I don't think Surma's gonna have to go around. Poseidon, he hears the play coming off the pre-fire. It is there, and it finds the kill. It's now a 3v3 with a minute left, and Hangman's looking for another one. He's able to find his third kill of the round. IMAT being taken out. Purdue, they do not want to be taken out. They do want to be knocked out. They want to stay in this, and they are going to have to. They're going to rely on the utility. That's where they're going to win this round. And the crossfire as Surma starts to take his damage. Will get taken out from below. I do believe. And Surma's on his own. He just has to try and get something, but 30 seconds on the clock. You have the diffuser, but you have a lot of lines of sight against you. And Mila's just going to find that kill. And Purdue, they keep in it.
The fight on, and the failure to clear the utility here from Akron really punished them. The Evil Eye providing consistent information, relaying the fact that both of these attackers were coming at it from Aquabar, but still at 4-6, and Akron are still one round away. If we lose, if they lose this again, the possibility of a third map is alive and well, and for overtime as well for Purdue, and it'll be hinging on the blue bar play. Bars was only played once, and it was a loss from what I remember on the attack. They got the plant down. You'll remember the Ash was holding upstairs. She just waited for the remaining defenders. They tried to disable it, and she just got her frags. And maybe that'll be the plan here. It can be
located a bomb.
You can really expect for the attacks on this bomb site to kind of hinge on whether or not the attackers are able to get the plant down. That means you need to take control of the courtyard, make sure that there's nobody at back lobby denying you and sitting prone. So there's really that area of control. You also need some elements of play so that you can play well in the post plant, as well as taking control of office security and
10 seconds left before insertion.
the security hallway. That's considering if you're going to go for a blue bar plant. A sunrise plant is, I would say, the less common of the two. Kind of depends on how you want to come into this. Akron in their composition, they've got the hard breach in order to get open the office wall. They've got the air jabs to lock off rotations, but notably they've got Hennessy on the buck to get that vertical play open. Having a specific operator to commit to this makes me think they're going to try to use it maybe just a little bit more than simply for trying to get open the ceiling in the post plant.
Now, Purdue Gold. They remember the last time they came to this site, and now they're doing a lot of joining towards this bathroom kitchen area. Hangman will take a little bit of damage, but will actually be taken out by the roof from IMAT. That is a huge frag to find very quickly, and taking away the Banshee. That's a free utility gone as well. Jekon, he's now got that blue bar control just from playing below. Harvey's gonna start flashing up this kitchen. Yes, he flashes himself out, but he knows that no ADS is playing there. Providence will go down off just about wins the gunfight, being tagged down very low. Now here, he has got the crossfire with Jekon, if they so wish to use it. Mila playing very close. He's going to be looking for a kill here, but the maximum he can really hope for is one. And then a refrag from his team. Now, all three players, as you can see, are just kind of bunched together. Akron have a unique opportunity. Get Hennessy above. Get him in hookah. Or you start just smoking off that door and just pushing into sight. You should have smoke still on the board if possible, but at the end of the day, you still have that number 10. Play the refrag. Go for these gunfights. Double peak. And it looks like with a minute 20 on the clock, Akron, they're just saying, okay, let's get this ready. Let's not waste this time. Waste the advantages that we have. The blue bar is going to get opened up. The Nomad charges are going to go down in support. Mila, he needs to find a huge kill, and that's it. He's able to find Iman, pulling back down the cool vibes just an inch closer to ending, or just to evening it out. That's really what they need. They still have the C4s on the board, so when the plant does go down, we will see Ghost Smitty looking to get one out. But they will go see Zimmer. He is safe. He's going to be going for another one, but that is... Oh, Poseidon's able to find a kill onto Jekyll, but gets traded very quickly by Hennessy. And now the plan will go down. It's all down to Mila in a 1v2. Make that a 1v1 as Goose Smitty is able to find a kill. So is Mila. Now it's Mila and Hennessy.
Playing the long angle here, Hennessy has got to make sure that he's safe, but he doesn't lose track of where Mila is. He shoots. He's got the sound call as he moves into kitchen, and Hennessy rotates. He's got to have intel now as he moves into off. 20 seconds to go in the deciding round. And Mila is still playing this increasingly slow. 13 seconds approaching the danger zone. He needs to be on the diffuser right now. He gets on it. Can he go for the ninja? No, he bails off, and Akron will take it a 2-0. Flawless sweep as they take coastline, and they race forward to the semifinals after a dominant 2-map performance.
Really well played there from Akron, able to pick up that last round and just doing the basics right. They went in, they were able to find that opening kill onto Hangman. Yes, you may have lost a player, but then they were starting to take the gunfights together. They were able to pick apart some of these players. Providence then got taken out. And as soon as Providence gets taken out, that's, like I said, a 3v5. Yes, you had Mila go upstairs, able to pick off the Ash, but at that point, you're all playing together. You have that coordination. Really well played, though, going for the retake from Purdue. You really cannot discount that because they went in and they just said, we're going to do it. They won their gunfights, but unfortunately, the numbers game left it in a 1v1, like I said. Hennessy, all the way in lobby, just plays time best he can. He made Mila go towards him, and that's the key thing because he was playing lobby. Rotates all the way around to office, holds it until, like you say, the danger time came in. Mila just came off the defuse, expected to push, but didn't have the time to work with. And a really good way to close out a game, and a really well-played game from Archon at that. They were constantly there, just having that little edge, having that positioning that just allowed them to keep that advantage in every single round we saw, in my opinion. There were a few times when they did struggle, i.e. the first round we saw in Hookah against Purdue when they just picked them apart methodically. But overall, Archon just played the cleaner game and got the basics right every time.
Definitely. So we've got an interview with one of the players for Akron. That'll be Imat joining us now in the casting booth. How do you divide the time between your T3 scrims as well as your college scrims?
Well, our collegiate scrims are usually about like EST 8:30 area, 8:30, and most of us we scrim. Math squared scrims will be like 5 to 6 p.m. So we'll just go from one scrim set of 2 6-6 maps to another set of 2 6-6 maps. And if we don't have Akron scrims, we usually do it. We're trying to do sets of 3 for math squared, and we have a lot of good scrim partners, whether it be like we're good friends with a lot of like CAPL teams like Livid, and we haven't scrimmed them yet, but we're good friends with like Ziglo on their team, and a lot of like really higher end players, and we get good scrims.
That's good to know. And I mean, wow, playing 4 6-6 scrims in one day, that's a lot of siege. Does it ever take a toll on you? I mean, scrimming that much in over the course of a week?
I would say no, because I when I first started playing collegiate, I was just a plat 3 player that like I just like, hey, my school's a team, I'll play. It was a club team at the time. Now we're varsity. But I met CJ for days. He's probably in the chat or something. He's a very good player, and he played T2. He was on a few different CL teams, and he liked me, and he thought I was really good. So he taught me how to play the game. We played when we were a club. We didn't scrim as much, but we scrimmed about 4 or 5 hours a day on his team. And I learned so much in that time playing, and I never really got burnt out. So I just try to get people in the same mentality as me, and we just all grind.
All right. Well, looking forward for the rest of playoffs now. You've obviously locked your spot in, and sort of what are your expectations? Are you guys? I imagine it's probably goes without saying, but you want to reach the grand finals, and are you guys preparing anything special or maybe any expectations ahead?
We're all gonna watch G-Force together. That's about it.
I respect
right.
that. That's a good shout, let's be honest. I'm going to do that now in a minute, actually. Classic Welsh phrase for you, now in a minute, but yeah, I'm going to do that in a bit.
That's fun. Well, I guess if you've got anyone you'd like to shout out, maybe something to say to your fans, your school, anything, now is your opportunity.
Yeah, I just want to shout out, like I did pretty much everything. Everybody's watching, whether it be from our team, like any family from either team watching. Big shout out to those guys.
All right. Well, it's good to hear from you. I'm Matt. I'm looking forward to your performance for the rest of the season, as well as maybe catching some of the Matt Squared games. I don't know, like if you guys have any plans to participate in some leagues, but I'll be watching out for you because Claw Central was a really good team made up of a lot of the best T3 collegiate kind of prospective players, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys will shape up. But thanks for the interview. Congratulations on your win once more. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. Thank you for the cast.
Well,
And that's going to be it from us for the moment, though, because we do have another game going on at the same time, which does look like it will be heading for a map 3. And Stick, correct me if I'm wrong, we have another playoff game to be seen at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
yeah, so it will be at 9:30 according to what I'm told. That should be between MSU and UGA, which is actually a pretty fun match. That, unfortunately, it's already getting very late for you, Brady. That will be between me and Jay-Z, so we will be on the cast for that one. You can expect it, as mentioned, about 9:30. So maybe take a break, go watch the Bravo games in the Open Division, and then once that's done, once we return, come back and hang out for us for that MSU UGA game. But until then, I've been Sticula, joined by McCready, our observer Henry, as well as our lovely producer CDC. Thank you, and we'll be back later.
Ain't no love like real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. I want you. Used to pit in my mind like standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I have no patience. So won't you please stay?
in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
the street lights lit this town like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in us. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt.